Sure. What? Sure. Ready? Sure. What? Yes? Ready? Sure.
The Republic respects the peace of Otto City, Your Honor. But the Sith are a violent people who leave violence in their wake. I have 3 soldiers in the infirmary.
If the Republic soldiers were more capable, they would not have suffered such serious injuries. Are my soldiers to be punished simply because they won a fair fight?
I hardly call 6 against 3 a fair fight. The Sith are cowards who attack only when they have the advantage of numbers. They were provoked, Your Honor. The Sith goaded them into this fight. If it weren't for the Republic, Manaan would already be under Sith control. But we haven't heard one word of thanks from the Selkath.
One day soon, the Selkath will pay for the indignities they have inflicted on the Sith.
I was told that you're a friend of Jolee Bindo, and that Jolee has returned to the sector. Please, I must speak to him. It's very urgent. My name is Elora. My husband, Sunry, and Jolee are old friends. Now Sunry needs Jolie's help. Please, I beg you to bring Jolie to speak to me about my husband. Sunry's life depends on it.
What?
Jolie, it is you. I need your help.
Laura, of all the people, how did you even know I'd left Kashyyyk?
I didn't. Nobody knew where you were, not even Sunry. But I heard the Selkath mention you and your friends. The Force has brought you to help us.
Why? Whatever could be the matter, my dear?
It's horrible, Jolie. Sunry has been arrested. The Sith have accused him of murder.
Murder? But how?
It's all a mistake, Jolie. Sunry isn't a murderer. Someone is trying to frame him.
Calm down, Allura. Where's Sunry now?
Sunry's being held at the Selkath courts. They won't let anyone in to see him. Please, go to the courts. Talk to the judges. Maybe the Selkath will listen to you.
Don't worry, Allura. We'll get to the bottom of this and help Sunry. Somehow. I suppose you're Sunry's only hope. We have to at least try to help him. Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious. Speaking of that injury, has it been taken into consideration, Your Honor? Simply because it was real does not mean Sunry would have overlooked it being in Elassa's hand.
The Republic believes in justice, as do you. We just want Sunry to be fairly treated, that's all.
I hear you've been appointed as arbiter in Sunry's trial. My husband is innocent. Please don't let him go to jail for a crime he didn't commit. Sunry is... he's a cripple. There's no way he could have overpowered this Sith woman like they claim.
That's true. I'd forgotten about that. Let's not forget that he would have to have been considerably older than the Sith woman. I'm a Jedi, and one who is living alone in the Shadowlands until recently. That keeps you in shape, damn it. We're talking about Sunry here.
And there's no way he would do something so dishonorable as hit her from behind. Sunry's a decorated war hero. He's a hero of the Republic. Find the real evidence. That's all I ask. The real evidence will prove Sunry didn't do this.
Jolee, what are you doing here? Alora sent me, Sunry. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case.
Just like old times, eh, Jolee? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire?
You saved my wrinkle butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case.
The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence could see that. Or so I thought. But the Cellcasts seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed. Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And I did meet Elasa there that night, but it's not what you think. I was working with Republic Intelligence. We were pretending to feed information to the Sith. Well, I turned Elasa into a double agent working for us. It was going well, too, until she turned up dead. Maybe the Sith had found out I was turning her and had her eliminated. But let's look at the facts they've given. Elasa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. See how my hands are shaking? How could I kill a Sith warrior at close quarters? I ask you! Further, they say they found my hero's cross at the crime scene. Would I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that stupid. Obviously, the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Cellcat, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well... Guess you could interview witnesses at the hotel where the murder happened. The Cellcath already did that, but the fish folk don't have much rapport with offloaders. Maybe one of them was holding something back. But I think you'd be better off investigating the Sith themselves. Maybe you could find some proof they planted evidence to frame me. Though that might mean figuring out a way into the Sith embassy. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Go ahead, ask. How would they know? They weren't there. I heard some of the witnesses said that too, but I swear... I wonder if the Sith have been putting pressure on people to get them to convict me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. They've had it in for me since the war. You should ask everyone about that. They might admit to helping the Sith under pressure. Very well. Once you've gotten enough evidence to go to trial, just tell the warden we're ready. The sooner I get out of the cell, the better.
When I get out of here, you're dead! I'll gut your fishy little corpse, cut off your head, and...
Got something on your mind, dude? You got yourself a fast little ship? I'd forgot what engine sounded like. Closest thing to that on Kashyyyk is an Uller in mating season. Ugh, frightful. Or it could be for the free food. What's the gunk that comes out of the synthesizer on this bucket anyway? Do you never clean the darn thing? I'm old, damn it. I'm allowed to be enigmatic when I want to be. And don't you go telling me otherwise. You know, you remind me of someone else I knew ages ago. Pleasant enough fellow, great destiny, all of that. Breath like a bantha. Oh, very funny. Is it my fault that some people are so easily annoyed? Like impatient little children with blasters. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, Andor Vex was his name. The Force swirled around him like a hurricane. That's how great his destiny was. No, you wouldn't have. Sometimes swirling force is just swirling force. It gets us old Jedis excited at our age, so we go, ooh, destiny. Well, it turned out that poor Andor believed a wee bit too much in the infallibility of that destiny. That overconfidence turned out to be his downfall. I don't know. Are you overconfident? I hadn't noticed. Even if I had, I would never comment on it. We're talking about Andor, remember? Let's see. Oh yes, Andor's downfall. I was pretty young myself when it happened. At the time, I thought that Andor's destiny couldn't be more boring. Well, let's just say that I was a strapping young lad with a full head of hair, and Coruscant was a small town with a well. I was just about to abandon Andor to whatever the Force intended for him when his ship was overtaken by a Dimian warship. Now, you've probably never heard of the Dimians, but at the time they were a nasty lot led by a nastier overlord named Krat. Tall fellow, big teeth. Krat has us hauled onto the bridge of his ship for questioning, and that's when I knew that Andor's destiny was at hand. Of course he did. Haven't you been listening? It was not in the way you probably expect, though. Well, Andor decides that his destiny makes him invulnerable and starts making all sorts of demands. Free me now. I'm not answering questions. Blah, blah, blah. Don't you know who I am? Krat decides he's had enough and begins crushing Andor's neck. I told the boy he should have kept his mouth shut. I think he agreed, too. This could have just been gurgling noises. Well, anyway. Finally, Krat has enough of Andor and tosses him aside into this giant energy intake shaft. Andor gets sucked in and starts bouncing around, screaming. Maybe Andor hit something sensitive on the way down, or just didn't agree with the reactor core. Next thing I know, all the ship's alarms are ringing. Everyone panics, and I run, barely making it to the ship in time before the explosion. Krat dies horribly, and the Dimians never quite recovered. Changed the political course of the entire sector for centuries to come. I'd call that quite a destiny, wouldn't you? Well, now that's the ingratitude of you for you. I relate an exciting tale, and do I get thanked for it? No. No, it's all me, me, me. Anyway, go on. My throat is dry, and you're making me cranky. Shoo!
We might have a position within the Sith organization for one such as you.
Your offer is pretty good, but I've heard some nasty things about you, Sith. Is it...
This is war. In war, certain distasteful acts cannot be avoided. But ask yourself this, when we win this war, would you rather be against the Sith or with us?
You make a good point. And I've never turned down a job that pays up front.
Excellent. Report to the Sith Embassy tomorrow for your assignment.
Have you managed to retrieve... Excellent. It does not appear to have been tampered with, so the Sith did not manage to copy its contents yet. And now for your information. We are not supposed to speak of this, but since you are a Jedi and we have exhausted all the other options, I think I can entrust you with this. As you know, the Republic is fighting for its very existence against the evil of the Sith Empire. As you also undoubtedly know, we're doing very poorly. We need much in the way of supplies and material to stem the tide of battle and bring us victory. Manan is the sole source of Kolto, the most powerful medical substance in the galaxy. Frankly, we need as much of it as we can get. The Selkath conservatives, with their neutrality treaties, seek to treat the Sith and the Republic equally. This includes Kolto exports, but a few more far-sighted Selkath see that if the Sith are ever allowed to win, the galaxy will be plunged into darkness, and there would be nothing to stop them from taking Manan anyway. So we made a deal. Shh, not so loud. Yes, it is a technical violation of the treaty, but it is sanctioned by elements of the Selkath government. We need only to keep it hidden from the Sith. We recently began construction of a secret underground facility to harvest Kolto directly at its source. We also hope to one day be able to synthesize it effectively. Current techniques are insufficient for the task, so we must mine it for now. The amount we take would hardly be noticed, since most is lost naturally before it reaches the surface anyway. We were nearing completion of the base when the digging teams reported some sort of obstruction. An ancient building or artifact, possibly your star map. Transmissions from the base were cut off abruptly after that, and we haven't heard from the station since. As you may have noticed, we're hiring a lot of mercenaries around here. Ostensibly, they're to be shipped off-world to aid in our fight against the Sith, but they're really for another purpose. When we lost contact with the station in the Rackard Rift, we sent our contingent of Republic soldiers down to investigate. None returned. We've tried hiring mercenaries and sending them down as well, but none of those expeditions have returned either. The reason we really sent that droid underwater, and the reason we needed its data back so badly, was to find out what happened to the Rackard Rift station. But now that we have the data back, our operation is in no danger of exposure to the Sith. And now I must live up to my end of the bargain. I took the liberty of having a submarine prepared for your departure. Merely use this card to get past the door behind our Kolto packing room and enter the sub therein. It has been programmed to take you down to the station, and also to take you back up should you need something. I would send soldiers to assist you, but we've lost many of ours, and nearly exhausted the mercenary population of this planet. The soldiers we have are barely enough to keep this base secure. The Sith have also noted our interest, and begun to bribe mercenaries away from us. Please, find out what happened to the facility. There may be some survivors left down there. Perhaps even the head scientist, Kono Nolan. Good luck in your efforts.
You are the one defending Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want, too. The Sith woman, Alasa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. A couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was going pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court. What do you want to know? Alasa used to rent rooms here every week or so. Then Sunry would come by a couple hours later and stay all night. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what was going on. There were only two other people in the hotel when it happened. One was a Rhodian named Glupor. Seems like a really dirty, shifty type. Normally I don't let his kind in here. I'm a reputable businessman, you know. But there weren't many people here, so I decided to take a chance. The other is a regular named Firith Me. He's a Pazak player. Probably an addict, but he claims he's big in some circles. Don't know anything about him other than that. Anything else you want to know? Well, okay. If you need anything else, I'm gonna be right here.
You with the Selkath? You here to see me about the murder, too? I told the damn fish everything I knew. What more do you all want from me? Sunry, I only heard of once or twice in passing. Some sort of old-time war hero against the Sith. Seen him around in the hotel, too. Going to Alassa's room always, of course. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics, usually. I'm not saying anything like that. What they did in that room, in private, is their business. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Although if you think her Sith Master didn't know, you must be fooling yourself. Oh, well, Alassa was a Sith, so of course she'd have to have someone above her. Yeah, I didn't see anything. Well, one time, I saw Alassa coming in wearing this big cloak. I was on my way to my room, and she normally wears stuff like that, so I didn't pay her too much attention. But this time, I accidentally brushed up against her. Accidentally, of course. And her cloak fell open. Now, I don't have any qualms about the Sith. I leave them alone, and they leave me alone. And seeing as how Alassa had a Sith lightsaber under her cloak, I'm not going to poke that hornet's nest. Seems so. But I'm not getting myself in any further with the Sith. I know how ruthless they are. Now, that's all I'm going to tell you. I'll testify it to the court, but you aren't going to get anything else out of me. Sure.
Ready?
Sure.
And you need?
What?
What?
No problem. Didn't work.
And you need?
What? On it. Damn.
Sure.
Chiki kun salkap, Jona mulira tong glupor. Glupor tong hit wana ji salkat agi inko tune glupor mulira chuna mul. Glupor yon tung chiwi ita, bola un jitne mulira glupor, kon muli slimo pui wanga kun viskin. Glupor king panik chalora kun. Glupor chi ita kanki chana kilikon. Glupor nibo jimata wipun nage. Glupor tong hit wama ji salkat ag inko tune tong kimba no kun nikset. Glupor picha ge borang turang. Glupor wangki yuma bat malyaw no wish. Glupor kun muli ras limo poi wanga kun makachitong abog sinshan glupor ninong kili glupor chiwa aita kang kicha nas glupor sha glupor pampa ki muli ra kun king glupor chachopa si chawa wish kun tong itzalkat wama jikon na glupor ag inkotune glupor no muli ra chuna muli ra tong pa no kun glupor chachopa glupor bagwa shang konti machid
You were the one defending... The Sith woman, Alassa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, he can't run good 'cause... Yeah, I'm pretty... What do you want to know? Well, okay.
You, Jedi. I hear you are investigating the Sunry murder trial, are you not? This case is not at all what it appears to be. Many currents, might I say, flow beneath the surface. This murder is much more complicated than it may first appear. Sunri and Elassa are proxies for their governments, and both sides want the other to fail. You can see the journey by the footprints. You understand, yes? Dear, dear. I'm saying they both had something to do with it. They've both kept their hands in this from the start. If you want to get to the bottom of this murder, you might seek information from both the Sith and the Republic, likely in their embassies. No, of course not. You think state secrets are for sale on the common market? You would have to be devious to get what you want. Heed my advice, Jedi, and you may yet find the truths in this murder.
When you are ready to explore the Hrakkert Rift, enter the Republic base. The sub will have a course to the Hrakkert. I wish you luck on your...
What?
This entrance to the Sith Embassy has been closed temporarily due to a maintenance failure. The main entrance to the embassy... What? How did you... This unit has no knowledge of what you're talking... Those with legitimate business with the Sith should return when the repair...
Sure.
Yes?
Sure.
Not this again!
Yes?
You